Hey everybody, it's the Doll Boy, and today I'm back with a Monster High REROOT video. Honestly, Monster High videos are very rare on my account, and I think I only have 2 or 3 Monster High videos on my channel for the REROOT of Gilda Goldstock from G1 and my Frankie from G3. And when I originally got Frankie, I actually also got Draculaura and Clawdeen. And in today's video, I'm gonna take a closer look and give a full makeover to Clawdeen Wolf. Clawdeen came in this classic Monster High packaging with a clear view of the doll on the front and a full artwork and information of the character on the back. These dolls are pretty easy to open, since you can just take off that front plastic cover and then cut away the doll and the accessories from the cardboard back. Right out of the box, you can see that hair is quite messy, but I actually like the color of the hair a lot better than I expected, with a lot of those pastel pink and purple highlights in the full partline and hairline, but that main shade on the inside being that light brown. Clawdeen obviously has her iconic ears that are pierced, and on the side of her face she has these hairy bits, I guess, that should be able to hold up the glasses. For her face, Clawdeen has some very extreme baby hairs painted on, and has brown eyebrows, golden and purple eyeshadow, and that same shade of purple on her lips. I actually adore that outfit, with the main piece for me being that bomber jacket with furry sleeves, since I think that looks so cute on her. And I actually really love the shape of these shoes, but that color honestly doesn't do it for me with this outfit. The color of the soles do match an accessory that's hanging from her backpack, but other than that I don't understand where that color accent is coming from. Other accessories this doll comes with are a water bottle, a pet brush that is for her pet, an energy bar, a notebook, a sandwich bag with a sandwich inside, and some gold glasses that unfortunately are super hard to keep on her face. If you're familiar with these Monster High dolls, you probably already know that Clawdeen has some furry details on her underarms and under legs that are sculpted in the body mold. And one thing I do notice with these G3 Monster High dolls is that their posture is pretty weird, since their neck kinda goes back, which makes it very hard for these dolls to actually look down, even with their super wide range of motion and even a chest joint. Since it has been quite a while since I've styled saran hair on a Monster High doll, I really wanted to quickly give this doll a boil wash off camera to straighten out that hair, and that already made such a big difference compared to that box hair. To play around a little more before going in the REROOT, I also curl that hair with very thin straws to give her a lot of nice and curly hair. For me though, I did really want to see Clawdeen with a more realistic protective style and darker hair, because I really like to have a lot of different hair textures and styles in my doll collection. Of course, I wouldn't be the doll boy though if I did not give Clawdeen a bob haircut first, and I actually really liked how that looked. After enjoying that for a bit though, it was time to cut all the hair as short as I possibly could. Then once the doll has super short hair, I take a bowl of boiling water, dip in the doll's head to make it a lot softer. This makes the doll's head flexible and allows me to safely remove the doll's head from her body. Then with that neck hole accessible, I'm able to put my forceps pliers in the neck hole to scrape the inside of the head. This pulls all that leftover hair to the inside and create a super smooth and completely bald surface. After that, I open my forceps pliers and take the now loose hair on the inside and pull it out. And for these G3 monster idols, this is actually such a hard step because all the hair seems to be individually burnt on the inside, which makes sure that it doesn't come out in nice chunks like it normally happens. For the hair, I'm using mini braids from the Doll Planet hair in 2 different colors of brown. One of them is the espresso in 2mm braids, and the other one is a slightly lighter color and have a thinner braiding texture as well, so I think they might be the 1.5mm braids. Since I don't think I have enough of either one of these braid types, I decided to root the hairline and part with these thinner braids, and then fill up the rest of the head with the thicker espresso braids. There are so many more textures and colors available on the dollplanethair.com, so make sure to check out their website, and if you decide to order hair from them, use discount code TheDollBoy10 to get 10% off your purchase. For my specific Clawdeen reroot, I decided to use the same technique that I did on my Alphaba reroot, which was the knot method for the entire hairline, because I really liked how seamless and realistic it looked with only one braid coming out of each rooting hole. And then filling up the back of the head with the folding method, because that's just a much quicker way of rooting the head, which I'm planning to do here as well. To achieve floor length hair for these monster idols, you can cut the 38-inch hair in half if you're using the folding method, and you can cut it in half even another time when using the knot method. Then I take a big needle with a thick eye, so you can just push that braid in the needle. And then I push the needle in one of the holes, pushing it out through the neck hole, and then making a double knot on the inside of the head before pulling the braid back to the outside. And then I simply keep continuing this same method for the entire hairline. The great thing about working with these braids is that it's so mess-free. So you can do this in front of the TV or even when you're commuting to work or school in a bus or train. Then before finishing the entire hairline, there were a few things that I wanted to tackle, with the first one being that partline. As you can see, the holes on the part are very thick, and since the partline of Frankie completely cracked up on me, I want to put some protection on that head to make sure it won't crack like that one. And then for the baby hairs, I feel like those swoops are way too extreme, and I want them to be a lot more natural and realistic, so I'm going in with some acetone to remove those painted baby hairs from her forehead. With this pure acetone, it was honestly so easy to remove them. The only thing you have to keep in mind is that this can also completely wipe away the face paint, so I was very careful with where I placed that acetone. And then to strengthen that part line, I take my liquid fusion glue and put a layer of that on the bigger holes that make me nervous. I spread that out smoothly with a Q-tip and then let it dry completely before adding a second and third layer. Then once all that glue was dry, I took my acrylic paint and mixed some Mod Podge into it to paint her scalp a darker brown that matched the color of the braids. In this step, the Mod Podge really helps to keep the flexibility of the paint while putting pressure on the head during the reroot, to avoid the paint from chipping off or cracking. After letting that dry completely, I started rooting the entire hairline in that knot method, which honestly took me quite a while because this doll also has a super close rooting pattern around the entire ears. Then I came back to my camera to show you how I root her new part line. And for this, I really wanted to keep in mind that weaker spot of her original part line, so I moved the part line to a slight side part on the other side. To prepare for this, I'm taking a thick needle that I hold very sturdy with my forceps pliers, and then I push that into the head to create new holes in a straight line from front to back. Then to root this into the part line that I want, I take my regular reroot tool and root in one braid for each hole using the folding method to make sure that one end can go to the left side and the other end can go to the right side. This gives you a super neat part line for braids that's pretty easy to do. And then once that step is done, I simply fill up the rest of the head using the folding method, trying not to overfill the head with braids. And then when everything's filled, I twist the hair out of the way and fill the inside of the head with Fabri-Tac glue. I spread that glue out evenly with a Q-tip and then let that dry overnight. And when the glue is dry, I can finally put that head back on her body to reveal the finished product. For some of the braids, you can see that there are some loose hair sticking out, so I went all around the head to pull those loose strands out of the braids before finalizing the style, because especially those strands sticking upwards are very easy to pull out. And I feel like that honestly makes the entire look so much sleeker and more polished. Once I did that for all the braids, I go ahead and give the doll a boil wash to lay all those braids super nice and flat. And then to finish the complete look, I mix brown and black acrylic paint with some Mod Podge, take a toothpick, and paint on the new baby hairs. I definitely went a lot more subtle than Mattel did with the original baby hairs, but I feel like my baby hairs look a lot more realistic. Then I also really wanted to see what Clawdeen looked like with curly or wavy braids, and I ended up trying several different styles. I really hope you like the end result of my Clawdeen makeover. If you did, make sure to leave a comment down below and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. To see more looks of my dolls, also make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok @TheDollBoy. See you next time!